I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 619, Part 2. Questioner. It is said in Aparoksha Anubhuti that hatha yoga is a necessary aid for inquiry into the self. Maharshi, the hatha yogis claim to keep the body fit so that the inquiry may be effected without obstacles. They also say that life must be prolonged so that the inquiry may be carried to a successful end. Furthermore, there are those who use some medicines, kayakalpa, with that end in view. Their favorite example is the screen must be perfect before the painting is begun. Yes, but which is the screen and which is the painting? According to them, the body is the screen and the inquiry into the self is the painting. But is not the body itself a picture on the screen, the self? In this dialogue, the questioner refers to a text called Aparoksha Anubhuti, which suggests that practices like hatha yoga are necessary for self-inquiry. Sri Ramana Maharshi responds by addressing the logic behind their claim. Ramana explains that hatha yogis believe the body must be healthy so that self-inquiry can proceed without obstacles. They also believe that prolonging life through certain practices, including special medicines like kayakalpa, helps ensure enough time to succeed in self-inquiry. The hatha yogis compare this to preparing a clean, perfect canvas before starting a painting. In their view, the body is the canvas and self-inquiry is the painting. Ramana Maharshi challenges this view with a deeper perspective. He asks, but is not the body itself a picture on the screen, the self? This question points to a fundamental shift in understanding. Instead of seeing the body as something separate that must be prepared before self-inquiry can begin, the Maharshi points out that the body is itself an appearance on the background of the self. This distinction is important. The self is not something to be reached only after perfecting the body or extending life. The self is already present, the unchanging reality on which everything else, including the body, appears. By placing too much emphasis on preparing the body, you risk mistaking the temporary for the permanent. The Maharshi's words reveal a key principle of self-inquiry. The body and mind are part of the passing world, but the self is the ever-present awareness in which they appear. True inquiry doesn't depend on physical perfection or extended time. It begins by turning inward and recognizing that the self is already the foundation of all experience. This doesn't mean that caring for the body is irrelevant. The Maharshi acknowledges that a healthy body may help reduce distractions, but he cautions against mistaking such preparations for the essence of the path. The heart of self-inquiry is to recognize the self directly, not by perfecting the body, but by seeing that the self is the unchanging presence that remains when attention is withdrawn from fleeting experiences. The body changes, the self does not. By shifting focus from external conditions to the awareness that underlies everything, Ramana Maharshi invites you to look beyond methods and preparations and instead recognize what has always been present, the self. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 verses on reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.